Good day everyone, this is Patrick from EasyFX Code Trading System, and it's Sunday the 6th of October 2019, and this is the weekly analysis for spot gold and dollar yen for the second week of October, and this is the daily time frame for spot gold, and you can see that it's been a wide-ranging week of about 600 pips. We take a look at the weekly time frame. I managed to find support near the weekly S2 pivot level, and then rebounded and climbed all the way back up to its previous swing low resistance level before closing around the weekly pivot at 1506.47. Let's go back to the daily time frame, and it was heading lower at the start of the week until poor US economic data from the ISM manufacturing PMIs, and then on Thursday as well with poor ISM non-manufacturing PMIs. And then on Friday it closed as a doji on mixed US jobs report. So we'll see whether there's going to be consolidation for the whole of next week. There's only one key economic data on Thursday with the US CPI figure, and then earlier before that, early on Thursday morning or late Wednesday in the US, there's the release of the FOMC meeting minutes. We'll see whether there's anything new or clues on the next potential rate cut. However, with the poor economic data, there could be some evidence that the Fed may need to cut rates at least one more time before the end of the year. So either at the end of October this round, or perhaps in December at the latest. Let's take a look at the 4 time frame, and that was a spike high. This interim intraday support may need to down to this level at 1490. Near this trend line, right, and also near this swing low 1486. So this could be potential range for next week. So it's still at the moment centered around the 138 fib retracement and the weekly pivot. We'll see which way it's going to break up or break down for next week. And there's still a key support zone with the daily 55 EMA and the weekly S1 resistance. Next key resistance is going to be at the weekly R1 pivot level at 1526. So we'll see how the price action is for next week. Let's move on to the dollar yen. So likewise, the inverse for dollar yen was actually on the way to break out higher, and it hit the weekly R1 pivot level and the previous swing high here before pulling back on the back of the poor US economic news and resumed lower on Wednesday, and then continued on the Thursday as well, right, to almost hit the weekly S2 pivot level, and it's fallen below the lower trend line of the triangle. Previously it was attempting to break out above the upper trend line of the triangle. So let me remove this one here, and this one is still valid now. We remove this intraday resistance level. As well as some of these key levels. So for now, there's the key support level. Let's go to the 4-hour time frame. It has managed to climb back up higher based on the US jobs report, which was slightly mixed. It had good unemployment rate with the lowest in 50 years, down to 3.5%. However, jobs added was slightly below expectation at 136K. However, there was an upward revision of over 45,000 for July and August, so this will compensate for that lower jobs added for September. So net is still positive. The only neutral or slightly lower than expected figure was the average wage growth, which was flat at 0%. So there is some evidence for the Fed for later this month, with a slight slowing in the economy with the PMIs, and a steady but tight labor growth now. So on the 4-hour time frame, it managed to climb up higher, but was blocked by this lower trend line, and fell back to the 50% fib retracement level. So we'll see whether it's able to climb back up towards the weekly S1 pivot and then the monthly pivot for next week, and right at the daily 55 EMA. Right, if it does drop lower, it may target the 38 fib retracement level of this swing low, of this swing move down. So we'll see what the news will be for this week that will support some US dollar recovery. Alright, so meanwhile, do check out my other videos on the weekly analysis for Euro, Cable and Aussie dollar, as well as the Ichimoku analysis for Euro and Cable. Meanwhile, we'll follow up on Tuesday for daily analysis, and have a good trading week then. Cheers.